Hey everyone, my name is the Glue Man. I am a content creator here on YouTube that does mainly now Transformers content. I played WFC on release and FOC or Fall of Cybertron, this game on release as well in the betas, and I was an unknown clan on Xbox 360. And that being said, this whole point of this video is basically just a Titan guide. It's a Titan guide for just newer players who don't really know what they're doing or who are just struggling against the really good players that are on the game. It's not even that much fun for the good players when they're constantly just going 30-0 against somebody who doesn't know how to play the game. So I just kind of want to help newer players out so they can kind of bridge that skill gap and just get better at it, as I have too many years playing this amazing game. So first, it's going to be a Titan guide today. So I'm just going to go to my Titan classes. First, I'm going to start off with the chassis. The best chassis in the game is just the Grimlock chassis. If you get the right files and stuff installed, you'll have access to all the DLC and all these weird customization options. But as you can see, Grimlock here, his dinosaur form has a weird hitbox, so if you really want us to be sweaty and try to do as best you can, the dinosaur Grimlock chassis with a T-Rex form is the best form, just because the dinosaur form, his only hitbox is kind of his chest area, so it's actually hard to hit him, more so than just a giant tank. With that being said, now we're moving to the guns. First, so the bread and butter of the Titan class is the Energon Harvester. If you are not using the Energon Harvester, if you don't have it equipped, you're basically going to do bad. Unless you're like a top player in the game, you're just going to do bad. This gun is a necessity to the playstyle of Titan. It allows you to heal on every shot. I think it does like around 270 base damage or so, but heals a decent amount back. Without this gun, you're just going to take damage at the biggest class in the game, and you need something to heal off of. So you always should have the Energon Harvester equipped. The next best guns are kind of tied between, well, I'd say Scrap Maker's probably the next best gun in the game for Titan. There's the Slime Cannon, the Tech Volt. Tech Volts, don't use Tech Volt. If you want to use Tech Volt, just do it for fun, right? Don't try to use Tech Volt seriously. This gun, it's just not good. They've increased the range on it. If you're going to use it, the better perk on it is the one that gives you increased range, because they've tried buffing that in the patches, but right now it's just not good. Just don't use it at all. I'm going to be focusing on the Scrap Maker and the Slime Cannon, because as a Scrap Maker, it's just better than probably the Slime Cannon and definitely a Tech Volt. So first, for the Harvester, I'm just going to go over the perks. What's the best perks? So the main best perks are going to be Reaper and Iron Cartridge. Our Infinity Finder increases your range by like 15%, so it's just better to use these other perks. Reaper gives you more health back, and it's actually a decent amount more health than just running another perk. So both Reaper and Iron Cartridge are good. I kind of lean towards Whirlwind with Reaper to get more health back, and then Iron Cartridge from using the shield, but you can't go wrong with either one in either situation. Iron Cartridge gives you like 5 shots, whereas Reaper you only have 3, so it's kind of the benefit of having Iron Cartridge. I would run Iron Cartridge if you are really good at hitting your shots and you're very accurate, as if you are missing a lot of shots, like yeah, you have more shots, but you're not getting the health back, so Reaper really gives you a lot of health back from healing, and if you're not good at hitting your shots, then you're not going to get much healing back from Iron Cartridge. You may need that quick burst of more healing if you're not as good at aiming. So either one's good though. So I'd say Scrap Maker, the best perk is going to be. So I've heard different opinions, like Cyber Optics, Drop Shot. They recently nerfed Cyber Optics, so I don't want to say they're all kind of even. I've been using Air Rush even. It's nice with movement speed, but basically Drop Shot, it fires almost instantly, no wind up, and that can really jump people by surprise and kill people quickly. Cyber Optics is better just for a little more range, and Energon Rush is just kind of nice if you're fighting a destroyer and he's using like the A4 pulse cannon. You can zoom around kind of while you're firing the Scrap Maker, and it's really nice to be able to move faster. So really can't go wrong with either of these. I would just try them all out. I think they're all very good. Maybe Drop Shot and Cyber Optics are better, but just depends on what your playstyle is. Either of those are good. And then for Slime Cannon, the best perk I'd say is Sonic Blast. This one, the Cosmic Rust Disperser, is just going to increase your goo size. And you really, if you get good with the gun, you really don't need this. It's kind of just like a handicap to help people. I guess you can't aim, but I wouldn't get used to using this. Either use Sonic Blast or Corrosive Accelerant. Corrosion Accelerant, I think it doubles the slow time from 3 to 6 seconds. It's really good against scientists who are really hard to catch. So let's say they land in and then you try shooting them and they instantly get out. This will slow them for so long they really can't get away. So if you're really getting tired of a game and people are running tons of scientists or scouts and they're running away, this is a good item to put on it. But for the most part, Sonic Blast is just higher damage and it's really good as well. So I would run Sonic Blast probably. For your abilities, I'd say, so it's kind of debatable. They buffed Whirlwind recently. Whirlwind, I think, is the better option here. Let's go to it real quick. So Whirlwind Whirlwind allows you to do damage and take damage. So the shield, you can bash somebody away and knock them away, right? And create space, but it's pretty much used to defend yourself when you're getting shot at. Whirlwind can do a lot of damage by like offensively attacking somebody, but also can, if you run energon absorbers, it absorbs I think it's like 75% of the damage you absorb, like you don't take 75% of the damage, and it negates it. So it may be 50%, but I think it's 75, so that's really strong. So if you're gonna run Whirlwind, I'd run energon absorbers in my opinion, just because you can take so much less damage. And what you do is, if you're fighting a Titan 1v1, if they're shooting you with Harvester, you can just pop on Whirlwind and absorb a lot of their damage, and then stop Whirlwind as soon as they're done shooting, and start popping them with your Harvester and beating them up. Or if they pulled a flak shield, you can start, Whirlwinding on the flak shield, get the flak shield down, and they start shooting you. You absorb their shots, and you just blast them and they don't have any shield down, and you kill them. So Whirlwind's really good, whereas like flak shield is still really good, but I think Whirlwind's better. It's really hard to use Whirlwind correctly because you can't. It's such a situational thing where you have to be conscious about when to use it, or because if you use it at the wrong time, it can leave you exposed or you can mess up. So if you're going to start out and try to get better at the game, I think flak shield's a new user-friendly ability. But I think Whirlwind is probably the better ability. It just takes a lot of time to master and know when to use it correctly. Overall, though, that's the breakdown, just the Titan class, the guns, what's the best perks and stuff. My setups, you can see them real quick right here. So I'm using Energon Rush, like I said. I might even try Drop Shot again, but I'm kind of running that right now. Brute Force is the best perk on Flak Shield. Blast Proof gives you 30% healing, but I think just having the extra shield to absorb things is better. But Blast Proof is also pretty good as well. But these are my loadouts, though, if you want to copy them for my Titan class. So now I'm going to go into private match and just talk about some tips and tactics of what you should do as Titan. And then after I get done with that, I will go into a multiplayer match and try to commentate as I'm live playing to help you all see what you should do in game. So give me 1 second, I'll go to the spot. Alright guys, so now I'm going to start talking about some tips for the class in general. I'll start with the Whirlwind loadout first. So typically when you start a match, you're going to want to go straight to the healing perk right there. It's good to get, but you don't want to overcommit too much, just because if you do, then you can get rushed down if the whole team goes there. So you gotta be careful, kind of play it safe, but try to get there quick and see if you can nab it as its best perk. In general, though, this is gonna be tips for the Titan, just what to do as a Titan class. So first, I'm just gonna talk about the Titan Cannon. So if you hit ramps like this, you can jump pretty high. There's kind of these little ramp edges here. Use this to get air and advantage over people. It's always good to jump and fire your Titan Cannon, just so you can get that kind of good angle down on people if they're down like that, or even if they're here even with you, jump, so you can dodge their Titan Cannons in a Titan 1v1 and try to hit them with that as well. Getting headshots with the Titan Cannon is kind of lucky, so that doesn't really matter when you're factoring in Titan Cannon battling. So next I'm just going to Harvester gameplay. So the Harvester, the range on it is short range, but it does have some range on it. So you can still heal from if the opponent's at that box right there, you can still heal off some hits from them. But the most effective range if that opponent is the box is probably this is probably a good fighting range right here. So that's the opponent just fighting this range. Getting up close is also fine, obviously, but just for kind of the maximal range to really be hitting people and getting most benefit out of your shots is this range. Typically when you're fighting somebody, whether it's a Titan or any class, you just gotta play smart. So you gotta use your shots, make sure you hit them. You gotta practice online just using the Harvester. I see a lot of newer players kind of not using the Harvester or not using it correctly, and are just not hitting their shots, and they die fast. You have to hit your shots consistently if you want to live. That's how a lot of the good players run around as Titan dominating, is because they're hitting their shots and doing a ton of damage, but also healing a ton. And if you get up close to somebody in personal, you can actually just get a full blast in them like this, and that will kill you for I think around 300 or something more a shot, and it does around 270, 300 damage a shot. So you could two-shot any class in the game. If you get 2 direct shots, you can kill even a Titan in literally 2 shots. So it's pretty strong. But you got to get up close and personal. You can't be back here shooting Harvester back here at that box. You can't be doing that. You got to be in this kind of sweet spot range or closer and get up in their face to hit them. So typically when you're fighting a Titan in a 1v1 or just any character, you want to use your Harvester first. Approach with the Harvester if you get in the range. If they're really far away, let's say they're by that box over there, you can fire Scrapmaker or Slime Gun and stuff like that, but if you're going to use your Harvester, just approach them, come from behind, get up in their face if they're in this box, and you start firing it, kind of move left and right like this, kind of stagger and move to the right, then roll to the left, and try to just dodge their shots. And if it's a Titan, you can you can, most times they'll fire in this rhythmic pattern of just firing as soon as their shot comes back up. If you notice they're doing that, as soon as you hear them about to go and shoot their next shot, like they got that pattern of shooting, try rolling as soon as they're about to hit the trigger, just so you can dodge that shot, or you can at least like dodge part of it, because that'll give you an advantage. If they're doing less damage to you, they're healing less. So any sort of quick movement right when they're about to shoot can mess their shot up and help you win the fight more often. So make sure you're doing those things when you're fighting people with Harvester, especially if it's a tight 1v1. But getting up close and personal is the best thing to do. If you have Scribe Maker like this, Scribe Maker is good for camping behind boxes. I see a lot of new players kind of just having Scribe Maker out and just, like, let's say somebody's approaching them, they're just sitting here like firing it. Like, that's okay to do if they're like back here, but if they're like in your face, like just pull out the Harvester, like pull it out and just start blasting them, because if you're just sitting back with Scribe Maker, like yes it does a lot of damage, but like they're probably going to kill you at that close of range, especially if it's a Titan. Titans are going to be using their Harvester and just getting close to you like this and shooting you, and they're going to heal the damage off. Like 9 times out of 10, if a Titan's here and other enemies are there, and they're Scribe Making you and you're approaching with the Harvester, you're going to kill them like 9 times out of 10 just by, if you're hitting your shots like this, you can out heal and out damage the Scribe Maker. So don't use Scribe Maker if the Titan's approaching you with a Harvester. Make sure you swap to your Harvester, like shoot them as they come in. Once they get to the sweet spot range about there, pull out your Harvester as I said, and just start fighting with the Harvester. Scribe Maker is just good for peeking behind ground corners and just kind of for taking out big targets in a big team fight situation. Next, we're going to talk about Whirlwind, because I have it on this class for a swap to Slime Cannon. Whirlwind, as I said earlier in the early part of the video, it's very situational. So what you want to do is you want to be fighting like a Titan, let's say you're fighting a Titan, you want to be shooting them. As soon as you got to reload, you can start whirlwinding them, get close to them, whirlwind them. This requires you obviously being right in their face, like fighting them like this close, you can get close to them and whirlwind. But start whirlwinding them. Most times they have flak shield, they're going to put their flak shield up because they don't want to take the damage. So you'll break down their flak shield, then they'll start shooting you with a Harvester. And then you can take 1 or 2 shots of that because you take reduced damage with the perk I have on. And then you can start shooting with Harvester and healing all that damage back and probably killing them because they don't have a shield to put up anymore to protect themselves. If they are not, let's say you have flak shield up and you take them the flak shield and your health's kind of low though, and they start shooting Harvester at you after their shield's down, it's probably good to cancel the Whirlwind early and then start shooting with Harvester to get your health back. Whirlwind works really well if you're good with your shots. You can take the advantage state of having more health in them, because if you have less health, then well, you're still taking damage while you're whirlwinding, so you can kind of die sometimes like that. So Whirlwind's really good if you have the advantage state, which is why I kind of mentioned that flak shield's a little bit easier to use for newer players. So that's why I tend to go flak shield if you're having issues with whirlwind until you learn it really well. So now I'm going to swap real quick to Slime Cannon. Let's talk about Slime Cannon tips real quick. So Slime Cannon, it's got 5 shots. I think it does 125 damage a shot. Sonic Blast, as I mentioned, is like the best perk. What I would do for this is, it has this little press left trigger, you have this little range marker. You can use that, but typically good players will just kind of shoot shots. They know the range. If you want to practice this, just go to find a box like that, and it's kind of just different ranges, like shoot like. You should be able to aim at that box in this range and kind of hit it a lot of times. So if you're close like this, that's a player, you should be able to be like, okay, I'm like this close, I can shoot like here. If I'm back here, I should be able to hit like here. You should know that range kind of top of your head just so you can hit people easier. Just go in private match and practice it, or just in public match against players. Try, just using Slime Cannon hitting them. It shoots really fast. It's really good if a scout, let's say you're playing like an infiltrator scout character, and they're kind of like, back at that range or further. It's really good just kind of, if they're out of your Harvester range, you kind of jump around and shoot like this, slow them. Once they're slowed, you can approach a Harvester or a tank cannon and try to get a blast on them, and they come with Harvester. So it's really good just to sit back and kind of poke people, especially if it's like a scientist who's flying in, as I mentioned earlier, and just running away. Just hitting with 2 or 3 slime cannons quickly, you can do a lot of damage. But once you start taking damage, and once they start shooting you, you really got to swap to that Harvester and shoot them. Or, if they have the advantage on you, just run. Like, just run away. Like, don't force a fight. If somebody's jumping you, like they're hitting you from the side or by surprise, don't stay and fight if you don't have to. If they're like infiltrators over there shooting Path Blaster at you, just like transform and go through this window. Like, don't stay there and fight. Go get health, right? Always be aware of your surroundings too. A lot of new players seem to kind of walk around like zombies like this and just kind of like not paying attention. Just always be aware of your surroundings. Kind of always be like, when you're in dinosaur form, be like looking around like this. Like, kind of just put some like surround sound headphones in so you can hear things well. Turn your volume up so you can hear sound effects and noises, because hearing somebody behind you cloaking or doing different things can really help save you if you can notice that stuff. So definitely have like surround sound headphones if you can, and then just make sure in general that you're just playing smart, not doing dumb things, and you're swapping to the right guns like Harvester at close range. Don't be shooting at long range. Don't use Scrapmaker right in their face. You know, swap to Harvester and things like that. And lastly, just make sure your sensitivity. I know I use the Xbox controller, so just make sure you're using your sensitivity at 100, at least on the Xbox. Mine's at 100, it's maxed out. You can turn so much faster, and yeah, if you're not used to it, then like I get it can be kind of hard aiming like this. But if you're at 100 sensitivity, you can really, you know, catch people jumping. If they're in your face jumping and sliding, you can really aim better, and you can also turn around quicker if somebody jumps you as well. And if somebody does hit you from behind, you can always just like roll like this, like kind of do a roll, like roll and turn around. You can always just transform and kind of 180 like that and shoot them with tank cannon. So those are some quick tips in general. And the flak shield, you can always just, you know, somebody's in your face with flak shield. Typically, if they have the advantage on you, you just pull the flak shield out, walk away with it, and then shoot them again with Harvester. Flak shield's kind of self-explained, but those are some tips in general with that gun, or this class. So now, lastly, I'm just going to talk about fighting 4 different classes. So like I mentioned, scout players. If you have the slime cannon, just hit them with slime from range. If they're shooting path blaster at you, just have the advantage on you for low health. Run away. Don't stay and fight. Sneak up behind them or something. As you know, infiltrator class is the best class of the game kind of right now still. Some people aren't running the new patch, so just try to sneak up on them. Play smart. Don't rush in when you're already at half health, right? They're hard to hit with Harvester because they're so small, I know, but like you just gotta get good at like scoping and hitting them close range and kind of looking around and snapping to them when they roll and jump around in the air and stuff. Scrapmaker is also good against infiltrators if you're kind of in that mid-range area behind a box. You can camp and spray them scrap. The tank cannons work really good. If you could get a tank cannon on a scout, they're already like past half health. So you get like 1 Harvester on them, they're dead. So there's some tips to hit scouts. Just try to be careful around them because they're really strong and annoying and small. Scientists, Scrapmaker works well at range. You can mow them down. Besides that, slime cannon, just slow them. If you slow them, slime cannon, they're gonna panic. Same thing scouts kind of, or infiltrators. So just hit them slime cannon. They'll just go up and Harvester them. Pull your shield out. Absorb their shots and harvest them as you get close, or just tank cannon them. Whirlwind towards them to absorb bullets while they're slowed, and then finish them off. Destroyers, Whirlwind works really well against because you can have Whirlwind into their shield even if they have this snare slowed barrier on, and you can just Whirlwind into them and they can't like jump around their barrier and, you know, try to play, you know, on each side of the barrier. So you can just like Whirlwind into that. The shield's not as good against destroyers, but generally if there's destroyers there, just you got to go through their shield. You got to get up in there and kind of bash them with your shield and shoot them and just get your health back. It's like a lot of destroyers like to play with car missiles and hit you with car missiles. So if they do that, you really just gotta retreat. If you're already like half health, like I said, always retreat. Don't force a fight, especially if they're mid range. Don't force it. Always try to go and fight on your own terms. Don't force things that aren't necessary. They're pretty big and easy to hit targets, the Harvester, so the idea is just to get up in their face. Like, you know, if they're come from the side of them, go through their shield if they don't have the slow barrier on, just push in with your Harvester and just blast them. Like, the Harvester is your bread and butter. It's the one gun you're using probably most of the time in these games with the Titans, so just get through the shield, just hit them twice. Like, two full body shots will kill a destroyer easily. And lastly, Titans. Titan 1v1s, they're kind of an art, so to speak. You're both healing off each other, so it's really hard to win, and a lot of times you get in the back. But ultimately, it comes down to the tips I mentioned earlier. Like, you gotta, you know, pull out your Whirlwind at the right times when you're fighting them. Or if you have shield at the right times. You know, if you're reloading, pull your shield out to cover your reload. Things like that. Get up in their face, like really close, blast them, like right in their face. Don't sit back too far like this. You know, play aggressive if you can, and just try to, you know, bash them away into the air, dash, and shoot them. One last thing with the Harvester too is kind of just in the dash play. So if you melee like this, you can't shoot, right? I'm pressing shoot, I can't shoot till then. But if you melee dash, you can shoot instantly. See that? So if you melee dash, you can shoot instantly. So that's one tip you can do too. So if you're like shooting somebody with Harvester, you can go ahead and shoot them like this, melee, dash, shoot them again quicker, and it gets that quick damage from that melee like that. And what I like to do is I like to kind of strafe, like I said, roll. And sometimes I like to do is I'm approaching somebody like this, roll, kind of zigzagging in or something like that, and then dash forward and pump Harvesters, like dash, shoot, zigzag, and then snap onto them, right? Just like snap, like dash, snap onto the person, shoot them and kill them. So those are the general tips. I just want to go over those things just for new players. You know, don't stay on the open, kind of stay to these these corridors. You know, if there's somebody's playing sniper, you gotta stay hidden. You can't be running around like crazy unless you're really good with your shots. You know, your tank can's really accurate. So just play smart, play safe, and don't be out in the open too much. Lastly, I'm just going to go ahead and just show gameplay footage. I'm going to try to talk during it and just kind of describe what I'm doing. May not be a whole match, we'll see. I don't want to have like a 30-minute video here, but I'm just going to show that gameplay, and hope you guys can learn something from it and see how I play and kind of mimic my play style and learn from that as well. So I'll show that here in a second. Alright guys, this is the gameplay portion of the video. I already hear some scouts firing weapons, so I'm going to go ahead and go slime cannon just to help counter that. And as you see here, there's 2 scientists and a scout, so that's good for me using slime cannon right now. See if we can find some enemies here. So I see a scientist up there. It's going to be really hard to hit him just because this map kind of favors running around like a little baby. Just got down his healer there. Hit him once a tank can. I'm going to slime him so he can't get away. Slime, swap to harvester, hit, shield up, knock back, get him there. Immediately run away. As soon as I'm low there, I'm going to run away. I know there's health on this part of the map. It's always good to know where the health spawns. You can go to it and heal up. Part of Titan 2 is being confident in your shots and knowing when you can heal back. Oh, I can win this fight, I can heal back and live. So I have tank cannon. Heal some there. Didn't get the kill because I had the recharger, unfortunately, to heal him back. I'm bringing the slime cannon out. Shoot this guy so he can't run. That's falling down. There, I was out of ammo for my harvester. I'd reload. Sometimes what you can do is if you're out of harvester and you're chasing somebody down, just transform, it reloads automatically, and fire tank can, then retransform. Hit them. So right now I'm getting shot at by a scientist, so what I'm going to do is I'm run away. Hear people behind me. So the other guy's got the Scrymaker out, he swaps, as I mentioned in my video you should do. I'm going to run back, have to reload. Like I said, sometimes if you gotta reload, just finding a better way to approach the situation is smart. There's a tank over there. So there's a tank over there, so I'm gonna approach him. I'm gonna have my harvester out, because I need health. He's got Scrymaker. Come behind him here, I'm here. Hit him twice. Dead. Easy as that. Somebody shooting at me, so I'm gonna hide. He's gonna come after me probably. Okay, I'm good. So I heard somebody get that thing over here. I see a scout cloaking, right? Somewhere over here. So he bashed me, I'm in the air, I dash forward. And then just play it safe. You don't have to spam your shots every single time they come up. Just kind of wait sometimes. Like he juked there, so I waited from the juke and I shot him. It's good to like slow down the game sometime. Hit in the back. Just tank cannon, team got him. Guy flying over there. Sticking on your team too is also very helpful, just because if you're on your team, they can support you, heal you, and back you up in 2v1 or 1v2. This guy's over there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a tank cannon. That will hit. Tank cannon again. Got the kill. This guy's here. Bash. Harvester shoot. Good to go. Recharger. I'm gonna go get health. So they're gonna spawn part over here, so that's where I'm gonna head. If you want to be careful, you can kind of go around the corners of the map, but it's not fun. I like to go in headstrong. This guy's just driving around, don't do what he's doing. See somebody transform, you know, just try to run away if they're right in your face. See there, I went tank cannon, as soon as I tank cannon, I transformed. This guy's cloaked. Another kill, he's right there. Tank cannon's one of your best friends as Titan. Really can help secure easy kills. And or get that first shot, weaken them, and then come in with the harvester and get the kill. As you can see, I'm using mainly harvester. I'm not like using my slime cannon a lot. I'm trying to use my harvester because I know the harvester does most damage and heals me. So I'm always tank cannon. Try to follow up with the harvester in close range. Like approach in your vehicle form. Like right here, tank cannon. I missed the ceiling. Oh, I fell. Shit. I could have gotten the kill, but I didn't fall. But it's fine. I'll just circle around. So I already have her. So pop mine I have on currently, pick that one up. So I can't get over there, so I'm just gonna tank cannon. He's gonna fall down, and now he's basically dead. So I'm gonna chase him. Fire tank cannon's really low. Got Sebastian here. He's dead. There you go. So they're up there camping. As soon as you get tank cannon, you can try to hit that guy. So that move for him. He's closer. So I got my shield out, right? Just scout me, so I'm gonna go for the health, transform, get the health. You don't have the recharger on me. Pull my slime cannon. There's scientists everywhere. Snipers up there, sniper over there again, trying to camp. So I know he's over there, so I'm gonna run around and try to get a higher ground to hit him with the tank cannon. You know, fighting. There's a Titan here, jump down, so I'm gonna jump down on top of him. Got him with that, and then shoot. So you see how I slimed both of them? One for the scientist to slime him so he couldn't run away. Then he basically got hit and died anyway. So then I snapped to the other guy immediately. Get the kill there. So this guy's behind me. There's turrets right there. Yep, he's running. Missed the tank cannon. It's kind of a bad shot. There's a sniper here. Sniper, get that one tank cannon hit. Nope. Oh, missing the shots. I don't know what he's doing. Just sniping because I got top there. There's a guy here, so I'm gonna wait for him to get close. Pop out. Remember, I'm gonna go ahead and premature reload here. See how low I am? I'm kind of trying to run here because I know that scout's right there. I'm gonna reload, get my last little ammo in. Scout's here. Zoom in, get the extra shot. He's running. Tank cannon out. Blast, dead. Sometimes with lag too, like the shots are delayed. You can see. Like you can see the shot kind of comes out late, so you kind of have to like lead your shots with tank cannon. Like for example, this guy's running. This wall. Yeah, so that's just some general gameplay of how to do as a Titan. There's a lot of scouts and scientists there, but you just gotta play smart. When you're at a disadvantage, run away. Somebody start shooting the back, pull your shield out, or start whirlwinding towards them. Always have your harvester out if you can, and engage with a tank cannon shot, and then come in with a harvester and hit them. Constantly moving, constantly be transforming, juking, and approaching in certain ways. That's it though, guys. I'll be doing more Titan videos, maybe some more Titan tip commentary videos like this to help people out. I'm gonna do guides for all the other classes as well. But if you guys liked it, like the video if you can, subscribe if you want more Transformers content. I hope this helped y'all out. So I appreciate it. Thanks.